grew up on a wheat ranch in Almira, Washington. I always had animals around. I was old enough that the heifers knew that I was afraid of them and they'd chase me. I learned on the farm that farmers know a lot about a lot of things, but they're not always as efficient as they could be. I could see that farmers and ranchers could be more efficient if they were able to harness technology. I went to Washington State University. I went on to get a doctorate at Colorado State. I have a PhD in animal sciences, but my research work was in atmospheric chemistry. She's a little cautious. You sweet girl, good girl. A cow is a ruminant, and a ruminant has a special physiology. They're able to eat low-quality forage, and they can make steak. And one of the byproducts is methane and CO2, and that's a loss. It represents a loss of energy, it represents a loss of efficiency. Up to 18% of the methane that gets in the atmosphere comes from sources like cattle. One thing to notice that's really important on the green feed is anything that sticks out has to be protected, because cattle are curious and they'll come and rub against it and break it off. So we measure methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and molecular oxygen, air. So when an animal comes, their ear tag is red. When their head is in just the right position for us to capture all of the gas that comes from their muzzle, it dispenses feed. From those gases, we can tell how hard the animals are working to graze. It allows us to evaluate genetics, animal health, pasture health, feed efficiency. That's really what this does. It used to be that only people studying methane bought our equipment. Now people who want to monitor diseases in animals, they can use our equipment to identify sick animals. You can use our equipment to breed more efficient animals. Scott is really the expert in converting that raw mountains of data into information that people can use in a very quantifiable, comparable way.
I'm Scott Zimmerman. I'm president of CELOC. Pat is my father. I think Pat is always 20 years ahead of everybody, which is good when you're trying to develop new equipment and technology. I've probably looked at more cattle emissions data than everyone else in the world, probably times 10. What really excites me in the data is when you see trends like certain feed additives or pharmaceuticals can work really well to reduce methane. So some of these options for mitigating greenhouse gases, but also creating more efficient animals, are like right at your fingertips.
Each green feed measurement starts when a small portion of feed is released, attracting the animal. As it eats, the animal's breath is drawn in through a vacuum system and passed across sensors measuring methane, carbon dioxide, oxygen, and hydrogen. Once measured, information is securely transmitted to CELOC servers for detailed analysis. CELOC's algorithms review each data point, detecting and flagging anything unusual. After the collection period, CELOC experts verify every data set through a strict peer review process, ensuring accuracy and reliability. The final results are then shared with clients all over the world, providing insight for research validation, feed efficiency and return on investment, sustainability tracking, and other educational and economic returns, helping users make smarter, data-driven decisions for a more sustainable future. CELOC services and sells thousands of units across more than 50 countries worldwide and is regarded by some as a global industry standard in emissions measurement technology.
I first met Ermias at an international conference, and I think in those days we had built a prototype of a green feed. We really didn't have money. In those days, we had to get some money down to build it because we didn't have any money to buy the parts. Well, he didn't have money either, so we did a lease program. We did it for him, he was a good fit for us because he's a good scientist, and that he would have a good chance to objectively evaluate the data and make sense of it.
My name is Ermias Kibrab. I'm a professor of animal science at the University of California, Davis. What my lab does is to try to figure out ways to reduce methane emission coming from ruminants in particular. Using green feed is important because you need to have a device that does not alter the animal's behavior. The animals will come to it and they will feed from it, and they will just basically doing what they would normally do. The importance is they're all calibrated in the same way. So the trials that we're doing in Indonesia or in India or in Thailand, they're comparable because we're using the same type of equipment and also the same way of calibration.
Because a couple percent makes a difference. The smallest thing I contributed was the idea, but a lot of smart people turned it into something that's really useful to society. Healthy animals, happy animals, do better. You know, what we build, it's okay, it's pieces, but what we've learned is critical.